Don't like it, you can't beat it, baby. Hi girls, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you can see by the title, you know what today's video is. Okay, because I know the girls have been asking me for a Q&A. If you didn't get to send in questions either on YouTube or Instagram, it's okay because this is not the last Q&A I will do. But if you missed it and you don't want to miss it next time, make sure that you follow me on all the socials, okay, so that you don't miss what I upload on either one. I did ask you guys on YouTube and on TikTok, so I'm going to be going back and forth between those two. I forgot to ask if you guys thought it was okay for me to say your name. So I'm not going to say anyone's name just in case no one wants me to, because I forgot to ask. So I'm so sorry if you wanted a shout out, but I'll remember to do that next time. So good. Black vanilla chai is so good. Okay, so first question. Do you deal with struggles of external validation? And if you do, how do you deal with it? Either you mean, do I deal with not wanting to be perceived? Or do I deal with wanting external validation instead of validating myself? I'm not sure which one you meant, so I'll answer both. Do I struggle with not wanting to be perceived? I have struggled with this in the past a lot, and I think it just comes from not wanting to be judged and wanting to fit in, because as I was growing up, I had a hard time fitting in with my peers. And the way that I got out of that was loving myself and realizing like it doesn't matter, because I'm going to go years and years and years trying to be perceived the way I think people are perceiving me, because you really never know what someone is thinking about you. It could be good or bad, but you really never know. So I could spend years trying to live up to what I think people should see me as instead of being who I am, because at the end of the day, I'm going to die. Everybody's going to die. And I don't want to spend my life worrying about what other people are thinking about me, because it really is none of my business. Someone's opinion about you is none of your business. Someone's opinion about you is literally none of your business. Like, you don't know what other people are thinking about you, so mind your business. Like, when I thought about it like that, it really helped me. It's all about perception, like how you view the world and how you view yourself. As for dealing with wanting external validation, I feel like everyone's dealt with this at some point in their life. And again, it ends with loving yourself and perceiving yourself. When you perceive yourself and you know, like, this is who I am, and I can validate myself because I know who I am. So self-love and knowing yourself, knowing who I am allows me the freedom to not be affected by other people's opinions of me, and not wanting constantly other people's approval or other people's validation, because I can validate myself, because I know who I am, I know what I'm trying to do, and at the end of the day, if someone doesn't get me, they don't get me, and that's fine. So I do not struggle with either of these things anymore because of that. And I also just feel like I can be nothing but myself. Everything that someone's going to think about me, everything that I want people to think about me, that I want people to validate me on, people might not even do it. Even if you're continuously trying to live up to whatever you think you're supposed to be living up to, you can still be nothing but yourself, and you will always be you at the end of the day. So get comfortable with yourself. I'm weightless. I love that song. It's the anniversary of the album. So how do you pray, begin speaking to God or whoever it is you believe in? So I do believe in God, or I say Jah, it's Jamaican, but I'm a spiritual person. So I'm not Christian. I'm not religious in any way. And I believe in the universe, and I believe in God, because I believe, that Jah created the earth and the universe. And it's a kind of like a spiritual thing, a spiritual guide. For me, praying is my affirmations, my journaling. I literally talk to the universe every single day, every day. And the universe talks to me every single day in the form of my intuition, in the form of my love, my happiness, you know what I mean? My blessings. So we're in constant communication with spirit, even if you don't know it. And I think for me, I don't have a formal practice of praying, like, going to a temple or just like praying, because I'm constantly talking to the universe, and my affirmations to myself and for the world, and my journaling is my way of praying. And I know a lot of religious people have like something called prayer journals. It's kind of the same thing that I'm technically doing. I'm just not like writing down Bible scriptures and stuff like that, So that's kind of my form of praying. And also when I meditate, I'm talking to the universe. So when I'm meditating and I'm reflecting on myself, reflecting on my life, on my day, or sometimes if I'm crying, I do that. And that is praying to me. It is praying. There's no like right way to pray. Whatever way you feel like you should be talking to Jah or the universe, that's how you should be doing it. Whatever feels right to you. Because if you're in tune and connected with yourself and connected with spirit, you will always hear the universe and feel the universe. So yeah. The next question is, how do you reconnect with yourself if you don't feel like you? So this is a really good question. And I definitely, either I made like a video on it or I touched on this before, but basically most of the time when I don't feel like myself, it's because I've lost the routine of the practices that I normally do, like my spiritual practices. So I'm either not journaling enough, not going outside enough, not meditating enough, not creating art, and I have to go back to those things. So it's kind of like when you don't feel like yourself, you need to ground yourself and come back to the things that make you feel whole and that you resonate with, because most of the time that is the reason that you don't feel like yourself or you're burnt out. Playing, coming back to play and taking the seriousness out of it, because that's another way that I can sometimes feel myself not feeling like myself and feeling stressed out, is when I'm taking life too serious. Like, stop taking life so serious, okay? Because at the end of the day, the whole point is this right here. The whole point is that we're living and we should be living, just living, not trying to climb a corporate ladder, not worried about I can't get gas in my car, not all these things, but literally just living, literally just being. So I have to come back to that, because when I'm away from that, I feel extremely disconnected from myself and extremely like lost, and I can't think of the word, but I just feel so low and disconnected, not just from myself, from everything. So I have to ground myself, come back to myself, do some meditation, some journaling, moving my body. Moving your body will help you get back in flow and get connected with yourself. That's why my yoga practice is so important. So yes, that's what I do to come back to myself, is I ground myself and come back to the things that I resonate with, my spiritual routines. How to deal with loneliness and the lack of connection in your hometown. I grew up as a military child, so I literally never really like had a hometown. My home to me is a place where I felt most like home, or where my family is. So my family's from DMV. That will always feel like home to me, right? But I've been here in North Carolina for like a long time, longer than I've ever been anywhere. And being here in the area that I'm in, it's like, sometimes it's so annoying. I want to leave so bad because I feel like there's nothing here and I can't connect with the people, and you know what I mean? But being here has gave me so many great memories, and putting myself out there was the way that I connected with my community and made friends and did beautiful things. So I would definitely say putting yourself out there, and the type of loneliness that you're dealing with is also important to talk about, because some people can be lonely because they cannot enjoy their own company, and that's a problem. If you cannot enjoy your own company and you feel like you always need somebody, your loneliness is needed. You need to be in solitude right now. You need to come back to yourself and remind yourself who you are and that you are already whole. So your feeling of needing other people to make you feel whole is invalid, because you're already whole. So remind yourself that you can be happy by you making yourself happy. No outside source is going to continue fulfilling the void that you feel. So if that is the loneliness that you're feeling, that's a whole different conversation. But just in general, like being lonely, like you got to put yourself out there, girl. You got to go talk to people. You know what I mean? You can use online apps too. Like, unfortunately, the world is online. So if like you go online, or any like dating app or friend app or anything like that, and then put in like your hometown, find people around you, you know, be safe, be safe. But you got to put yourself out there. That's really the only way that you're going to connect with your community. And also go to your hometowns, like Facebook and stuff like that. Go to the events that are going on, parades, protests, because you'll meet fun people, you know. Or just like, I don't know where you live, but like going downtown. So like when I go downtown, I just see so many more people than where I like live at. And like there's a lot of things going on, new restaurants and things like that. So I go downtown to skate and to chill and hang out, and you know, you see lots of cool people, meet lots of cool people, do cool things. Get out of the house. Put yourself out there, connect with people. That's the only way that you're going to be able to connect anytime, anywhere. You have to put yourself out there. I should make a video on that. I struggle a lot with holding hatred toward people who's done me wrong. How to forgive. Oh my gosh, so that's a really good question, because it's like, as cliche as it sounds, people really don't understand that forgiveness really is for you. It is not for the other person. It truly is for you, because it's your soul that's suffering, holding all that negative energy and the trauma from what other people have done to you. And I've definitely experienced it. When I got out of my last relationship, I felt a horrible hatred towards men and towards life. And I was just so angry that I did not even know who I was anymore. Like, I completely lost myself, and I was just so angry at the world and so hateful toward men that it was eating me up. You know what I mean? It wasn't eating my ex up. It was eating me up inside. And I had to come back to myself and realize like who I am and rebrand myself, because I don't know who I am anymore. I have to evolve. It's like when you hit bottom, there's no other way than up. You have to work on letting things go. And even journaling, like I would literally sit and journal all of the negative things. Like if I go look back at the journals, I'd be like, damn, like I was literally like cussing my journal out. Not cussing my journal out, that's my baby, but like, you know what I mean? Like cussing the people out who've done me wrong and just like getting out all those negative emotions. But it's truly therapeutic, because once I sat down and wrote all those things out, I was like refreshed, you know what I mean? Because like sometimes writing to a journal feels like yelling at somebody when you're rage writing, like seriously. I can't even read some of it. It's literally chicken scratch because I was writing that fast, because it's emotional release. You know, I had to connect back with nature, because nature calms me. Like literally, if I'm upset and I'm crying and I go hug a tree, I'll literally calm down. Like I do this shit in real life. I'm a tree hugger, okay? And I feel like we need to reconnect back with that, because letting stuff go can be so difficult sometimes. So I know what you're going through. Other things that I did was write a letter to the person that I'm having a hard time forgiving, and I would burn it. It's called a release ritual. It is on my TikTok if you want to see like how I do it. I think, yeah, it's on my TikTok. And I would do those. I'll write a letter, write out the things that I wanted to release, and also give back the energy that they gave me. Any of the negative energy, I refused it. I rebuked it from my body. I don't want this energy anymore. I don't want this person within me anymore. I let them go. I let this go. I let the hurt, the anger go. And then I would burn the paper. And it seemed something so like futile, but it really helped. It really helped. And also like taking your mind off of it, because if you just sit and just be thinking about that shit over and over and over again, you are replaying the event. You are reliving the event emotionally, and it's making your body have an emotional charge, because emotion is literally just energy in motion. So you cannot sit and keep thinking about something over and over and over, because your body is reliving that, releasing all of the stress hormones. And sometimes that's why we do that, because we're addicted to the cortisol. But you have to stop doing that. You need to find something to do. Go outside, paint, make a collage, color in a coloring book, ride a bike, do exercise, something, or build a hobby, or do something to keep your mind off of that. Because it's easy when you're out with other people to not think about something. That's why people, you know, when they're trying to get over relationships, they go get under somebody else, or they're always out with friends, because it takes your mind off of it. But when you're alone with your thoughts, there's nothing to take your mind off of it. And then you're just gonna be crying. So we're not trying to do that. Another thing is, like in your letter, I want you to also say like, I forgive you. I forgive this person, and say it out loud. I forgive you. Thank you, universe, for the lessons that this has taught me, and I'm letting it go now. Your words have power, okay? You have to get these emotions out. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry, but it's not okay to cry and be angry forever. I want to have friends, but everyone in my class is so rude, mean. Any advice? Yeah, I dealt with that in high school sometimes too. Sometimes girls would just hate me for no reason. And it was just so sad, because like I just wanted to fit in. Well, not at that point. I just wanted to have like a group of friends. Like I would see other girls like have that same group of friends, and I didn't really have that. I was like friend hopping, because I never felt like tied down to one person. And then when I was tied down to one person, like she did me dirty. But yeah, I've definitely dealt with that. And honestly, what I did when I was dealing with that was not be friends with anybody, because I cannot deal with that energy. Like, you're just mean for no reason. Like, you're just nasty. I do not like that type of girl. I don't like that type of energy. It's just gross. Like, you're not about to infiltrate my energy field with that. I just distanced myself. I found myself being in solitude, and I found that very peaceful. But if you want to make friends, you should not try to be friends with the people that are in that class. If they're already showing you that that's their energy, they're probably not good friends. So if you can, when you're at lunch, because when you're at lunch, there's all the classes together and it's not just like your class, go and sit with somebody else, or be like, hey, can I sit with you? Or like, go up to somebody and be like, oh, your hair's so cute today, like, period, you put it on. Like, girls love a good compliment. And if they say something like, I know, then like turn around. But yeah, so like, put yourself out there with other people, because maybe you're not meant to be friends with the people that are in that class. They're not your type of energy. So we gotta find someone who is your type of energy, and then y'all can meet up at the lockers, hang out after school. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I would do. Well, actually, that's not what I would do, but I'm telling you, that's what you should do, because maybe you don't want to be alone. Maybe you don't want to be alone all day, every day. What's your technique to meditate? So I made a video about meditation, if you guys want to watch that. But I meditate in lots of different ways. I would say that since starting my spiritual journey, like years now being in it, I don't traditionally meditate the same way every day. Like, when I first started, I would sit in Anjali Mudra and I would play like frequency music just to help like calm my mind, because when I first started, it was really hard to like shut my thoughts off. I would do at least 5 minutes every day like that, just deep breathing. You have to breathe deep, because that will get you in the flow state in your mind. And I would do that for at least 5 minutes, and then I kept increasing the time, when I felt that I could go for longer. You get into astral projection and all that other stuff. But that's how I started meditating. Then I would do walking meditations, or I would do meditations in yoga poses. And then I started doing meditations when, I'm painting, because I love to paint. So I would get in a flow state when I do that. That's a meditative state. Something I talked about in that video. There's many ways to meditate. And if you're creative, you're probably meditating every day. That thing that puts you in the flow state, that turns off your thoughts, that's the meditative state that we're trying to achieve. So when you're doing the thing that you love, you are in that flow state. There are many different ways that you can meditate. And if you want to start out with trying to come to like peace and calming your thoughts, then that's what I would do. I would like sit in a comfortable position with your hands open, or in Anjali Mudra, and deep breathe. And every time a thought comes into your head, this is what I used to do. Every time a thought comes into your head, imagine like a bow and arrow, like shooting like thought out of your head and then it like falling. Or I would imagine every time a thought would come in my head, I would imagine it flowing out my ears. And that visual really helped for some reason. And I felt like more grounded. And I would just do that every time a thought like came in my head. And the only time I feel like I have to do that now is if I'm frustrated. If I'm frustrated and I have to slow my nervous system down and just meditate, the thoughts will be coming, because obviously I'm frustrated about something, I'm stressed, and that's why I need to meditate. So it's very helpful still, even if you meditate every day. That is my technique to, traditionally meditate. Other forms of meditation is really up to you in your personal life and what you do that brings that no thought flow state out of you. Walking meditations is something I got from Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza, the book, I got that from there, and I absolutely love it. And I think if you start with those first, it will help you meditate, because you walking can keep thoughts off your mind. So that's another tip I have. How do I stay productive by me being a creative thinker? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm gonna guess that you mean, how do you stay productive while like being a creative? I'm just going to answer, how do you stay productive, because I am a creative, so it's coming from a creative perspective. How I stay productive is by organization. And I also am speaking from personal experience, because I have ADHD, and it's just, I'm neurodivergent and my brain does not work the regular way. So I had to do things to make sure that I stay organized and create a system. Systems work. Like, I don't have a system for everything because I'm a very free spirit. And so things are very intuitive and spontaneous, but I do have certain systems for things that I use, and creating those systems help the process go smoother so that I can focus more on being creative. And I had to create that for myself. You know, that's why people have assistants and things like that. But I don't have that. So I had to create those systems, those routines, so that I can focus more on the creative process, and I have those building blocks in place. So that helps me stay productive, because when things are in chaos and all over the place, sometimes it's hard for me to like get stuff done. I'll procrastinate starting a task. Definitely that. And I guess what you mean by being a creative thinker is that there's a lot of like thoughts. And that's why I have journals for everything. I don't know if you've seen my journaling video, but that wasn't even all the journals that I have. That was just the main ones that I use. But I literally have a journal for everything, because I have to get these thoughts onto paper. Like, I have to get them out, because if I don't get them out, it's just a loop. What is when I'm thinking about a project. I know how to calm my mind, but when I'm thinking about starting a project or something like that, like, my thoughts run. I have to write it down, and I have to create like diagrams and writing notes and all this. It's a whole creative process. I would make a video on it. It's just very like sporadic. So I had to figure out how I can show you guys that. Yeah, that's what I would say. It's just the main thing is staying organized. That helps me be productive. Also, taking rest, because as a creative, you're constantly on the go. Like, I literally have a new idea every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds I have a new idea, and you have to take a rest. You can't constantly be going, even if it is something that's fun, even if it is something that's therapeutic for you. You have to take a rest, and you have to take time to not be doing that thing. Take a time to go for a walk and not be thinking about your next thing. And it's super hard, I know, because I'm constantly having to remind myself, hey, right now we're just painting just to paint, not for it to go on the socials. Or, hey, right now we're just sitting. We're not thinking about the next YouTube video. But you have to. Your brain needs that break, because even if it's something that you love, it can get draining if you continuing on and on and on and on, because you're still a human. You know what I mean? Being organized and taking rest. Two of the most important things that a creative needs. What home means to you. I touched on this a little bit earlier. As my family, you know, we've been moving around all my life, and to me, home is definitely where my family is, but it's also where I feel the most peace. I don't connect a home to a certain place because I do like to move around, and it's just normal for me. And I'm a very adaptable person. I can adapt to any space and make it mine. This apartment is a perfect example of that. What home means to me is a place that feels like me. Probably the most important thing. It has to feel like me, you know, not just like the decor, but just the energy, and the place where I create will always be home to me. It's definitely an amalgamation of those things, but all in all, it's where I feel the most peace at, where I feel I can be myself, and where most of me is in the external world, because there's a lot of me in the inner world, you know, and I'm tuned into her, but I want to feel me around me. So that's what home means to me. It's not a house, it's not a place, it's a feeling, it's an energy. Favorite movies, series, books. Girl, I cannot answer this question. I literally love photography, videography, so I watch movies like for that, and also, you know, because I like movies. But like, I like a lot of movies, I like a lot of TV shows. Like, it's hard, but I will tell you my favorite movies, and they're from childhood. They will just always be my favorite movies. Like, anytime someone asks that, it's just always this, and that is Coraline and Matilda. Those are my two favorite movies ever. Like, I've literally seen them over 30 times, probably more than that, definitely more than that. I love those movies. Those are my favorite childhood movies. And Roald Dahl books when I was younger, I loved those books. I read so many books when I was younger. If I could think of all of them, like, they would probably all be my favorite. Not all of them. I was reading like YA books when I was in elementary school, so like some of that content was not my age appropriate, but they were good books. Series. I love Law and Order and Criminal Minds. Like, I literally always watch that. Like, I was just watching that today. Fun fact about me is I used to want to be a lawyer. I'm very interested in that stuff because I'm a very investigative, analytical type of person. So I know how to solve a mystery, okay? And I've done my fair share of stalking on the boys. You know, we all have. But I really love your videos and the peace that they bring. We both have a lot of similar interests. I just started a YouTube channel, and can you please give me any advice of how to grow it? So I plan to actually make a whole video about this. I was really just planning this, so it's like you're kind of divine timing. So I won't go into it too much because I am going to make a whole video about it. I have my own type of formula when it comes to content creating. I've had like a lot of different accounts, and I don't know if any of you guys know me from my older eras, but if you do, you are a true OG. Had a TikTok, and then I had a Instagram, and then I started my TikTok over, and then my Instagram kind of had a rebrand. Literally, I feel like my authenticity is what has garnered me a formula to grow on social media and to continue catching people's attention, because I'm not really trying to come on here and be a curated version of anything. I'm just being myself. That is something that the internet doesn't see as much of now, because there's just so much like aestheticism and, you know, just a lot of curation. A lot of people showing lives that they're really not living. Without knowing, it can get draining, it can get exhausting, and it can also cause yourself to compare. And I feel like I'm a break from that. I like to think of myself and my presence on social media as kind of like a break from social media, which is crazy because it's like a juxtaposition. I just feel like I'm a break from the internet and all of the curation and the over aestheticism of life, you know, because life is just simple, and that is the beauty of life, that it is simple. So me bringing my authenticity to the internet and really showing you guys who I am. I'll also say to engage, because the algorithms love engagement. So when they see that people are engaging with you and you're engaging with them, they like to push that because they want people to stay on their app. So all the technical like things I want to talk about in another video, but I will say, you know, it depends on what social media platform you're trying to grow on. Start with the one that is most comfortable for you. So if you feel really comfortable doing short form, start with that. If you feel really comfortable with long form, start with that. And it can ebb and flow. Social media in general is an ebb and flow type of thing. So go with that ebb and flow and never stop being yourself for anything. Even if you start to get a lot of views or a lot of, you know, recognition for this one thing and you feel like it's not you, it's okay to start over. I'm a perfect example of that. And that will be in the video that I will do on this topic. Do you have a PO box so I can send you something? Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, like I'm literally looking into this because so many of you guys DM me and like, oh, I want to send you this, and then I just have to give you my address, and I'm just like, I don't want to keep doing that. Yes, I am working on it because I'm starting an art business, so like I'm doing research on all of this stuff. So yes, I will have a PO box, and I will definitely let you guys know what it is so you guys can send me stuff, because I would absolutely love that. Like I love when you guys want to send me stuff. It's just like so near and dear to my heart that you guys want to send me stuff. I love that so much. So I'm definitely going to get that. Okay, so when I have it, I will let you know. I have felt really disconnected from my friends even though I love myself more than ever. Advice. So you felt disconnected from your friends because you love yourself? Or I was confused a little bit, but if you're feeling like disconnected from your friends, that happens to everybody, you know, that's life. And I think we should normalize not falling out because there's some beef or something like that. Sometimes we just grow apart from each other, you know, and that's normal. It's a part of life. It could be because we're going on different life paths or our energies just don't match anymore. It could like be anything. I don't always have a reason for not being friends with someone anymore. We just don't align anymore. And that's okay. If you feel disconnected from them, then maybe that just means that you're going into a new life phase. You're leaving this life phase and you're leaving those friends, and you're getting new friends and building new relationships, or building a stronger relationship with yourself, because, you know, you're saying that you love yourself. So I guess you're giving more time to yourself. So maybe that's the era that you're going into. I would say just go with the flow. I'm a very go with the flow type of person. I go where the energy leads me. So it's, you know, if I'm feeling disconnected, you know, I just like go with that. And it's not that I love you any less. No love lost, nothing, no bad blood. It's just, I feel like I'm growing out of you, and we grow out of people just like we grow out of our clothes. Go where the energy takes you. And if you're spending more time with yourself and nourishing that relationship that you have with yourself, you should definitely prioritize that. Most friends will come and go. Do you have a favorite vegan recipe? Honestly, no. Like, I really love food. Like, y'all, like, I really love food. I will try anything. I literally just like love food. I really love stuff with chickpeas. Like I just love some chickpeas and they make me so full, which I love too. I really love this soba noodle salad, right? So it's like matcha soba noodles with all the vegetables. So like spinach, bok choy, you can add corn, you can add carrots, cucumbers, like any green like vegetables, and it's raw. This is all raw except for the noodles are cooked. And you eat it with like soy sauce or like whatever type of dressing that you want. I love Asian cuisine. It's my favorite cuisine to eat. Oh my gosh. It's like my favorite thing to eat. Like I literally love it, but I really can't eat it anymore. I don't know where it's called where certain foods make you like extremely bloated or something like that, but those soba noodles do not agree with me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it has gluten in it or I don't know. But they do not agree with me at all. And it makes me really, really bloated. And then I'm like constipated. And so I can't eat it anymore. Even though it's so good. I love it so much. It's the best salad I've ever had in my life. But I can't eat it because the soba noodles, I think. So how do you connect spiritually to earth, people, and moments in your life? Presence. That's the answer. Like that's the one word answer is presence. When I'm out enjoying nature, if I'm not present, I'm not really there. If you're not present, you're not really here. You're somewhere else. Your brain is taking you somewhere else because your brain is powerful. That's why when you're like thinking about something and someone's talking to you, you don't know anything that they said because you're literally somewhere else. Presence in every moment, gratitude and presence as much as I can, be present in the moment and listen when people are talking to me, listen to the sounds of nature when I'm out in nature, even when I'm just walking to my car or something like that. I find a way to connect with the earth and to connect with myself and be in presence, even while doing other things. When I get frustrated, I have to just come back to the earth, come back to me, ground myself, be present, and hear my intuition. And that's how I'm always connected and attuned. That is how you practice attunement, by being present and by following and listening to yourself and your intuition. Being so attuned to yourself and to the earth will help you feel the energy a lot more. You know, I feel people's energy. I feel the energy of the room, you know, things like that. That's because I'm attuned and I'm present. Love you and all the work you're putting in your video. I love you too. Thank you. How to forgive yourself when you do and attract the same thing, people all the time. So it's easy to feel shame if you're like constantly attracting the same negative things. I definitely can understand that. You first need to come back to yourself and try to figure out the root, the cause of it, what's causing you to attract these things and how can you not attract them anymore. Spend less time being mad at yourself and feeling shame and spend more time doing the inner work to figure out how you can attract better things. How can you attract better people? How can you live a better, more fulfilling life? And that's coming back to yourself. The answers are within you. Stop dealing with things and people that do not serve you. Because if you sit back and look at your life, you're going to know exactly what those things are. So that's a part of inner work. And I will be making a video about that, about asking yourself why you're attracting those things. Why do you feel that you can't attract better? And you forgive yourself by realizing and knowing that it's fixable and that you are the answer. You are the solution. You can make your life better. It is the choices that you're making. This is your life. You can change the trajectory. It's all within you. So forgive yourself and spend more time trying to figure out how to get to the life that you want to live and to attract the things and people that you want to have in your life. How did you practice getting off of social media in the beginning? So I made a video about this a while ago about the overconsumption of media and how I would train myself to not be on it as much, even though I do this for a job. What I did was figure out the trigger points in my day where I would want to get on TikTok and scroll, where I would want to get on Instagram and feel something else with those trigger points. So like before bed, you want to grab your phone and be scrolling. How did I fix that? I put my phone in a different room because I don't feel like getting up to go get it. So I'm just going to go to sleep. And that was a perfect thing to do because I didn't feel like getting up to go get it. Or allowing my phone to die. I just allow my phone to die. I have to go put it on the charger in another room, let it charge up, and I wasn't on my phone, or I didn't procrastinate or distract myself with other people's lives. That's another thing. Fill your life with better things to do. Like I really don't even have time to be on my phone constantly and be scrolling on TikTok. I literally don't have time for that because my life is too fun. I have things to do. Like I have so many things I could be doing. I'm never bored because I have hobbies and I have substance in my life. So I don't need to fill it with things like that. I don't need to fill any void with TikTok. Other thing I would do was when I felt like going on TikTok. I'm saying TikTok because that's the biggest thing. Like that's why it's called TikTok. The time is ticking and you've been on TikTok for 7 hours. Do not bring your phone with you to the bathroom. Like if you have to poop, don't bring your phone. I started bringing a book instead of my phone because I would literally be done pooping and I'd still just be on TikTok. Like, what are you doing? Been on the toilet for 3 hours. Speaking of the book, if I felt the urge to get on a social media app because I didn't have anything else to do, I would read a book. I would pick up a book instead. It starts with finding the trigger points, giving yourself intention, giving the day intention, and then loving yourself and realizing that you're rotting your brain, you're making yourself sad and drained by doing this. So choose the better option, you know? And also, don't cut cold turkey. If you're always on your phone or always on Instagram and TikTok, you're obviously going to have an inclination to go to it. So do all of those things that I was just saying, and then give yourself some time to actually be on TikTok so that you don't feel like it's the same thing with like if you're trying to change your diet, you know, cutting cold turkey will just lead you right back to it and be binging. You know what I mean? Say, okay, I woke up today and for 20 minutes I read my book. So midday or later on, I'll give myself 10 minutes of TikTok time. You know, you have to like parent yourself. Like literally you have to parent yourself in this world because there's so many distractions and things like that. And they're calling for you. They're trying to get your attention. Is it getting dark, guys? Because the sun is going down. Is that helpful? Okay. Will you get any pets? Oh my gosh, like I really, really, really want a dog. I think I want a corgi, like really bad. But I just don't know if I should get one yet because my apartment is small. And while I do feel like it would work, I just don't know how long I'm gonna be here. Like I'm constantly thinking about my next move. I don't know is the answer, but I want to get a dog and I probably will definitely get a dog. I want a dog, a rabbit. That's it. Yeah. I want a dog and a rabbit. And like my dream dog is a Cane Corso. I had one when I was younger. So I kind of feel like I want to like own like a home or like some property because Cane Corsos are big and they need a lot of attention. And I just want to give my dog the best life that I can give it, you know? I don't want to bring anything into my life that I cannot give a great life. That's including plants, dogs, animals, obviously, and children. I just have that fear often that I'm like, I just want to give them the best life ever. Like I was telling you guys when I was at the nursery the other day, like I can't bring a plant home yet because I don't have the right things yet. Once I get the right stuff, I'll bring her home. Yes, so I do want to get pets. I don't know when, and I don't know if it's going to be here, but it will happen. Favorite music artist? Again, like I really can't answer that. I listen to so many things, so many people, so many different genres. Like my playlist is literally crazy. Like my boyfriend will tell you, it's literally everywhere. If I play the one playlist that has all my songs in it, it's like indie music to like pop to like techno to like death metal. Like it's crazy. I listen to everything, but I really love soulful like type of music. Like I love neo soul music. I just have too many favorite artists to name all of them. We'd be here forever. Really love indie music, really love neo soul. That's probably my answer to that. It's my favorite genre of music is indie. What do you study or are you working full time? So like I work, I just don't like talking about it. I was talking about this in my last vlog if you're interested in more information about that. But yeah, I do have a job. Well, I just quit the job that I did have and I now have another job. It's just like something to like get me like money while I focus on this because like my YouTube channels, my art, that's what I want to do. So I'm really passionate about that. And the mindset that you have to have, I'm telling you, as a creative, if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's not for everybody. It is hard work and it's hard going against the grain of society. That's always going to be hard no matter what you're doing. As a creative, you need to have the mindset of this is your job. Even if you have a 9-to-5, even if you have something else, this is your job. This is my job. This is my first job. This is the job that gets my priority, gets most of my attention and energy because this is what I want to do with my life. My other job does not get that priority ever. even if it's the one that's bringing in more money, because it's not about the money. It is about how I feel, and it is about attracting my dream and living through my passions. And I'm just not the type of person that can have a job like that forever. I really can't. I'm a leader. I am a freedom-spirited person. And I cannot work for someone else forever. I'm a hard worker. I'm a hard worker for the things that I care about and the things that I create for myself. Why? Because I'm a boss, not a worker. And this is not in a literal sense. And this is also not a bad thing if you consider yourself a worker, because there are people who need to be climbing the corporate ladder. There are people who do need to be working. We need to have a balance in life. You know what I mean? But the type of person that I am is a boss. A boss creates. A boss delegates. A boss knows how to maintain her freedom, but also work hard at the things that she wants to achieve. I don't need someone to tell me what to do. I know how to set the system for myself. I know how to create things. I know how to make the vision in my head come to life. And I don't want to waste time in the work sector. It's not for me. I need my own time because I know how to manage my time. I need my freedom because it doesn't deserve to be given to anybody else. That's why I work so hard at what I do. And sometimes my creative passions stress me out because I'm putting a lot of thought and a lot of energy into them because that's what I want to do. I put that hard working energy toward that instead of building up somebody else's company. That's just my take on that. This is my job. We don't talk about the other job because in my brain, she is a non-factor. So that's really my mindset. There's so many opportunities. There's so many opportunities in the world. And I'm not going to waste my time with this one thing or with thinking that there's only this one thing. There's only going to college and having a job and building a 401k and then retiring. Like, there's so many opportunities in the world, so many things you could be doing. And I don't want to waste time just doing that when I could be doing so many other things. I can follow my heart. So I lead with my heart. So I can't be in the work sector. Just not built for that. Like, my spirit is not built for the working society. It's really not. Every time I have consecutive days off, it just reminds me so much, like, how much I'm built for entrepreneurship, how much I'm built for building, how much I'm built for creating and making something. This is just what I do. Like, this is just what I do. Okay, there's nothing else I can really say. This is just what I do. If you're that type of person, have that mindset. You will get it because it is meant for you. It is literally meant for you. I was literally not born to work for somebody else. You're going to achieve it. You just have to keep working at it. And all your hard work will pay off. The universe sees you. Okay, I'm sorry I went into a little tangent, but I was in college, but not really the route I wanted to go. And I also made a video about that if you want to see it. What does being on a spiritual journey mean for you? It's very individual for every person. To me, being on a spiritual journey literally means remembering. Every spiritual thing that I've ever learned, every alignment that I've put myself back on has been something that's been deep within me. And it is something that you already know. It's just something that's been conditioned out of us. The programming of society, it pushes all of this stuff down. We are not connected to ourselves anymore, so we can't achieve these downloads. But when you reconnect with yourself, when you're on your spiritual journey, you're remembering who you are and you're remembering what life is, what the earth is, all of these things. You're just remembering and coming back into your full self. It's kind of like that movie Lucy, where humans are like using like 15 or 10, whatever it said, 15 or 10% of your brain, and then upgrading and using 100% of your brain. That's kind of like that. You open up your soul. It's like you reopen up your soul and you can feel everything. And I remember the beginning of my spiritual journey where I literally felt like I was high every day. I was like, I've never felt like this in my life. It was like a whole new world. And all I was doing was being present. When I was driving, I was like looking up at the trees. I wasn't so worried about my next thing, my next destination. I'm not in my car thinking about my destination. I'm in my car thinking about driving in my car, sitting in my car, feeling my heart beating, seeing the trees, the cars driving past me. I'm here. And being here, fully here, changes everything. When you're so used to being in survival mode and living that way for so long, when you start doing that, it literally is like a high nothing can give you. Meditation, a high nothing else can give you. No drug will ever amount to that. Being on a spiritual journey is just remembering, coming back to self, and reconnecting with your intuition. Because, like I said, all these things are there. It's just so quiet because of all the noise that's in your head. So when you clear the noise, you can feel yourself better, you can hear yourself better, and you can hear the universe. But the universe has been trying to talk to you this whole time. How to align yourself with the universe and what's meant for you. I would say that you need to start living how you actually want to live and start doing the things that you feel. Because what you feel and what you're drawn to is kind of like your mission in life. It's kind of like what the universe is guiding you to. Because we're usually ignoring that, you know what I mean? But that's how I found what I am aligned with, by just playing and doing the things that I felt inclined to do. I didn't know why I felt like I should pick up a camera or open my camera app, but I did it, and here we are. Listening to yourself and not doing whatever you think you should be doing, but doing whatever it is you want to do. It's that thing that you want to do that you can't stop thinking about. That is your alignment. That is your mission here. That is what the universe is trying to guide you to. That's intuitive feeling, is the universe trying to push you to your purpose, to push you toward what's meant for you. If you're doing something that you don't know if you want to do anymore, that's okay. It's okay to start over. Sometimes it's okay to give up. It's okay to be like, this is not what I want to do anymore. This is not me, and I quit this, and I'm going to start something new and start something fresh. That was on my spirit to say, because I feel like a lot of people stay stuck because they put so much time into something, or because they feel like they can't quit. You can, and you'll find the new thing that you start will suit you better. Don't be afraid to start over. It's okay. It's fine. You have time. You have infinite time. How do you feel you have grown? Do you feel you have a lot or a little? I feel that I've grown a lot, and I know this because of the way that I feel, how I can always find happiness in any situation, even if it's negative. I find that I can pull myself out. Also, just how I live my life now. And it's so different to how life used to feel. It's so different to how I used to be. And I dealt with a lot of anxiety and panic attacks when I was younger. The way that I live life and the way that I'm dealing with myself now, I find that I have so much less anxiety, and I feel like I cured my own GAD because I'm living life more peacefully. I'm living more fulfilling than I was back then. And that is a growth to me, because it's like noticing my triggers and noticing the wrongs in life that I was entertaining, that I was participating in, that was making me feel like crap. As spiritually as well, definitely going on my spiritual journey, I grew a lot. I learned a lot. I always feel like I have a lot. I always feel like I have a lot, even if I have little. I don't have everything that I want, but I have enough, and I'm happy. And that is a lot to me. And I'll always have a lot because I have things that other people don't have. So I'm just extremely grateful for life. I love my life. Grateful for everything that I have, everything that I create, everything that I write, everything. I'm grateful for my body. I'm just so grateful. And that gratitude, being present in that gratitude, really changed my life. And it really shows how much I've grown, because when something bad does happen, when something negative is affecting me, that gratitude, I can always come back to that gratitude, and I will always remember how good life is. And that mindset is growth to me. It's my mindset, my perception of life. How that's changed represents the growth. My perception on life was not this way, and it caused the life that I was having. I'm just really proud of myself. Hey. We're like on our last two questions. Okay, let me get close. Okay. Hey, my question is kind of complex, but I think the answer is quite easy, hopefully. Since I started following you, I really enjoyed incorporating your ideas on life in mine and spend my free time creatively and all that. But I struggle with understanding the balance between having to pay your bills and exist in a normal world and chase deadlines, and keeping myself disciplined to actually get my ass to work and all that. And then at the same time, trying to slow down and look at life differently and keep the mindset you are showing us. It's kind of next after you saying in your recent video that you kind of change brains between work and free time. But if I work on my own and need to discipline my free time as well, it's so hard to grasp. Thank you. That's a really good question, actually. And it's something that I also struggle with sometimes. I think the best thing that I do with this is compartmentalizing. Like I said, my job is a non-factor, okay? I don't want to think about my job, especially the job that I used to have. It was so draining, and that's why I had to leave, because I had to realize that that job was affecting my creative work outside of work because it was so draining. So I had to leave that job. So sometimes your job is a problem, the environment, but not everybody can leave their job. So compartmentalizing and being like, okay, I went to work. That was one part of my day. I'm decompressing. I'm doing some yoga. I'm eating. And then I'm moving on to my creativity, to my play. And I'm focusing on that. And I'm doing all these different things. Sometimes it feels like I didn't even go to work that day because I can literally change brains. Yes. And like I was saying, my compartmentalizing is the switching of brains, because it's kind of like if I keep that same mindset and I keep that same energy that I was at work with, I won't be able to continue my day. I'll probably just like rot in my bed, you know? But I have to be intentional about my day. Before I even go to work, I'm like, okay, my shift is going to be by fast. Everything's going to be fine. And then after, I'm going to do all this fun stuff. When the shift is over and I decompress and I compartmentalize and I separate, I get to do all these fun things. And it's like, that was the first thing I even thought about today. And now I'm doing it. I don't know how to explain this mindset, but this is the way that I have learned to separate, because it can be hard. And yes, I also have to be disciplined with myself when I get off work sometimes. Sometimes I'm tired, but I just do something small. But I have to do something, you know? And sometimes I just rest, and that's okay. But I have to not have work the only thing that was in my day today, you know? And the balance in society, it's just so annoying. It's like, okay, I have all these bills to pay and this is so stupid. I just want to do this creative thing. The way I think about that and the money aspect, money is the tool, not the goal. And it's not about the money. And sometimes it's hard to think that way because your bills are not going to stop. They're mounting. You have to pay for this, this, and this, and this, and this. And, you know, it gets hard. I know that. But when stuff like that happens, I just take a deep breath and I realize this is not going to be forever, because what I'm working toward is going to give me this tool, this money, this tool to not have to worry about these things. And I'm attracting that, and I'm going to get that. And I'm putting in the work. But the work starts with my creative energy, and I have to do my creative things. I have to get off work and separate and do the job that I actually care about, so that I can have the tool, so that I don't have to stress about money, so I don't have to stress about society and everything. And obviously, there's horrible things going on in the world today, and I will never stop thinking about them, and it makes life really hard sometimes. If I can have my freedom, it will make life a little bit easier. And that is my motivation, to get off work, to separate, to find that balance, and to continue doing the things that I truly love. Because I'm not going to let something that I care literally nothing about affect my energy and stop me from creating. I will not allow that. It has something to do with discipline, but it's also something to do with like loving yourself, because I love myself too much to allow that. Take the rest when you need to. You know, I've definitely learned the hard way by trying to grind. I had to take a couple of days off. You have to. It's okay. It's okay to get off work and like lay in your bed. You just can't do that every day. Last question. How do you trust that everything will work out for your highest self? Everything always works out in the end, but whenever I have a dilemma, I still get so anxious about the outcome to the point of tears. How can I trust that I'm exactly where I need to be amidst all the chaos? You really are exactly where you need to be. Suffering with anxiety, it just really makes chasing your dreams hard, because it's like, how do you know? You know what I mean? But when I meditate and I remind myself and affirm to myself that my hard work will pay off for something. I am meant to live this life. I will have what I deserve because it's my birthright. These affirmations, like literally, they change everything, because they're subconsciously in my mind now. They're setting that belief. So when I'm like, oh, I don't know, I'm having doubts, my brain is like, you got this. You know that you can do this. I love myself. I am doing all the things that I need to do, and I trust in the universe. I am divinely guided and protected. My brain immediately shuts it down. because I've written so many affirmations. I have rewired my brain and my perspective on life through my affirmations, through my manifestations. I know that I can attract what I want, and I've proven it to myself. So even in the times of doubt, I know that it's going to be okay. You have to have that mindset. You kind of have to rewire your brain, and you will still have doubts. But those affirmations that you give into yourself, that sense of self that you've given to your subconscious mind, will turn on in those times. Even when you're feeling like that, constantly affirm to yourself, you got this, you got this, you got this. Keep at it, because you are going to get it. Everything happens for a reason. And every journey that I've been on and the journey that I'm on right now is teaching me something, a lesson that I'm learning. So it's needed. Everything is needed. And I'm going to get what's mine. My gosh, what a video. Like, literally the light just left me. I really hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. If you want another one, let me know, and I will definitely put a question story on Instagram, and I will make a post in my YouTube community, and you guys can ask me the questions. I will try to include all of them, unless there are more than this one, because I got way more questions than I thought I was gonna get. I love you guys so much. And I hope that this video gave you peace and helps you live a more fulfilling life. And I'll see you in the next video. Oh my gosh, look at me in this mic. I feel like such a real YouTuber now. Oh, I could have had it right there the whole time, but I kind of liked holding it. I felt like I was on a podcast.